for breakfast.
Yummy!
We've got seasoned kale with chorizo and feta, a tower of tomato, aubergine, and courgette with a poached egg.
Favourite! Beautiful! Oh my gosh!
Hey, baby.
Good morning, everyone! Today I'm here with Giulietta.
I'm in the process of starting a YouTube channel called Brunch by Os. I've recently started an Instagram page where I share my brunch ideas with you guys. I haven't actually made it very public, but I guess you could go check it out now. My YouTube page won't start for a while as I have a lot on my plate at the moment, mainly to university.
Pun intended.
I realise that, it's a good one.
So we're going to talk about religion.
That is
Science?
Yeah.
Yes.
Science.
Religion versus science. So let me give you an Oxford definition of religion. So it's the belief in and the worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personnel, god or gods. And then I saw another one which is quite interesting, which says a pursuit or interest followed with great devotion. And in our day and age, that could be anything from like consumerism to the TV. Yeah, so it's really interesting actually, like the different definitions that people give to religion. The perception of religion today,
Not great.
It's
It's really not great at all, I think.
no.
I think mainly shifting over to Islam, it's not great at the moment, which I think is awful.
Yeah.
I think the core of religion, of all religions, is so beautiful. And I think it's just awful that people have a bad perception of it.
So, Christianity, I think everyone really knows the basis of Christianity. And when I was younger and I was a Christian and I was going to church, I knew the stories, but I think since I became a Christian again, the reason I did that was because I heard from a higher being. Christianity since Jesus was actually a relationship with God. Before Jesus there was all these doctrines and all this which stems from Judaism, but then when Jesus came, the whole reason he came was so that people can have a relationship with God, and I think that's what a lot of people miss nowadays. And even Christians miss that. Like, I didn't know that. Maybe that was just because I was young. But a lot of Christians still don't realise that you can hear God, like you can speak to him, you can converse with him, you can have conversations. And yeah, I think that's a massive misconception with church. I mean, Juliet has come to church a couple times.
Yeah, and honestly, I had no idea. Like, so obviously, I thought church to be, one of those places that you go and you get a bit of bread and a bit of wine, and you have to, I don't know, hallelujah, and they just, I don't know, just you have to sit there in silence for 2 hours, and it looked boring, and it just didn't look like something I wanted to be part of. And then Katie one day was like, so this is when she newly became a child of Christ once again, and she took me to church with her, and I had the best time. It was crazy. It was in the Palladium Theatre? Palladium Theatre, and it was a concert. Like, I'm telling you, it was a concert. There were these 5 people on stage, jumping, singing these amazing songs. Like, amazing songs I actually listen to, like, in my spare time. It's so good. Elohim is my favourite. And there's hundreds and hundreds of people, and everyone is just, like, oozing out positivity and beautiful energy, and I actually became so overwhelmed that I burst into tears my first time there. I didn't even know why. And Katie was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with me," because I've never been, I think, in a situation where everyone is just so, I don't know, so pure. It was a Saturday, like at 6 p.m. People are usually out pre-drinking or whatever, and these people have come together to, pray and to preach to something that they believe in, and I think it's so beautiful. So yeah, my perception's completely changed, and I advise you to check it out. Hillsong is the one we've been to, and it's great. It's a great social as well. Like, we went to what's the
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. It's 21 and over, 18 and over.
18 to 25, yeah.
Literally, they had a DJ. They had candy floss machine, popcorn machine, and it's just so fun. It it's so fun. You meet so many great people.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah.
I think that's a good thing about like churches as well, is that there's such, you don't realise, but they're actually really big communities. And the church work with so many different great organisations and charities, and it's just a good place to meet people because you're all obviously like-minded and just nice people. Like,
so let me start from my childhood. I was actually brought up into a Muslim household, and Islam was pretty much, in the nicest terms, like forced upon me. I had a guy come in every Saturday at the most ridiculous times in the morning to preach and to teach me Arabic, to be able to read the Quran. Alif, ba, ta. And I remember like thinking, the more I hear about this, the more I just don't want to believe in it. And I had quite a bad, I guess, relationship with my dad himself, and I think he was doing a lot of stuff which I thought was wrong, and then covering it with religion, which I think is really wrong. And for me, so that created a really bad perception on, Islam to me. But obviously, growing older, I realised that actually, no, it's not the religion, it's just my dad is. And then one day, I came across the law of attraction. And for those who don't know what the law of attraction is, it also stands for new thought. And it basically is a theory that like attracts like. And that basically your thoughts create your reality. And it actually stems down from 391 BC, where the Greek philosopher, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Plato. I always thought it was Pluto. Pluto actually started to say that like attracts like. And he started to put it out there, but he was very secretive about, to what he was actually speaking about. And then in the Enlightenment era, shall I say, that was from the 17th to the 18th century, was the time of illumination, I guess, and where people, especially philosophers and scientists, asked why? Why are we religious? Because it was, religion was such a big thing. You had to, preach every single morning.
It's like it's a human thing to want to know why as well.
Exactly. And then Sir Isaac Newton really asked why. And at that time he basically not created gravity, but explained gravity as well as light.
That's mad.
Isn't that
so
crazy?
Mad.
That is so crazy.
Imagine putting on your CV like, oh yeah, I figured out what light is. And gravity. Because I figured out what the planets weigh.
It's crazy. Because an apple, I'm sure you know this, but because an apple that actually fell in his own garden.
Wow.
Hit his head. Was it? I don't know if that's a myth, but I think it hit his head, right?
Probably.
And basically he called it nature's God. Nature's God. So this is where the law of attraction stems from. It's just been commercialised now to be called the law of attraction, but originally it was called nature's God, in which he believed an all-powerful spiritual force created everything in the world and left it alone for us humans to do what we're doing with it. And right now I don't know if we're doing a great job, but I mean it's still there, which is all fine. And so basically I learned about this, I did a lot of research into it, and for me personally it made sense. Yeah. It made sense to me. I realised a lot of stuff that I had attracted into my life was because I asked for it. If I wanted it or didn't I want it. Like, the universe can't hear if you want, if you don't want it. If you say, oh, I'm poor, you're going to be poorer. If you say, oh, I'm happy, you're going to be happier. So it doesn't care if you want it or not, but it's going to give to you what you're giving out, and it's just basically being in tune with the universe, and every thought has a frequency. Search it up. I'm not going to give you the whole definition because it's so long. But it basically stems to every thought has a frequency. Right,
so I actually, before I became Christian, the law of attraction was something that I looked into, and if you have seen my testimony video, you'll know that. But I looked into it, and I read the book The Secret, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing, and I think everyone looks for that purpose in life, and at that moment, obviously, I'd found it in The Secret. And so I had my own like manifesting experiences and things like that.
It works, guys. It bloody works.
Yeah, and it did work. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I said, like, one of the things is that you, like, picture something that you want and, like, you pretend that you have it already. And it sounds really silly, but I wanted an iPad. And so that's what I did. I pretended that I had it. And if anyone knows me, I'm not the type of person who can save money. I don't do that. And within 2 weeks, I managed to have bought an iPad. And I actually didn't know how, but obviously it was like this manifesting type of thing. And then another example that they give in the book is if you, like, just to test it out, which is what I did, if you, like, think of something that's unusual, and every single morning,
Was it your period that had the pigeon?
Yeah,
was it you?
And so I thought, okay, I'll test this out, might as well. And I pictured this white pigeon with just a black tail. And I was like, that's never going to happen, like, come on. And about 3 days later, I got off the tube, and there it was, the pigeon with the white body and the black tail.
Amazing.
And I remember being like, what the hell, that's so bizarre. And so yeah, so obviously that happened. But only, how long after? Probably like a couple months after was when I actually heard a God voice. And I don't know, it's just really bizarre because you don't really, like, of course you know where it's coming from, but then for a while you kind of, at first I had like doubts and things, like maybe it wasn't, but then things just happen, you know, and like if you're speaking to what you're perceiving as God, then it can only be him that's replying. Yeah, so I had that God encounter, which is why I believed. But would you, if you had a God encounter, what do you think your reaction would be?
I think it completely depends on what the God encounter is, because, oh, please do answer this question, by the way, this is for you as well. I have encountered probably over hundreds and hundreds of experiences which I like to look at as being the law of attraction. I think I've attracted so many people in my life, so many situations and opportunities, you know, not only things, but literally situations and opportunities in my life because of it. And I've seen that. Like, I have my little vision board over there. I've got a little check I've written myself here. And these things happen to me. Like, I'm like, honestly, they do. Like, I remember this is a really weird thing.
It's really bizarre, isn't it?
I remember writing my diary a couple of years ago. I'm not going to tell you the exact thing because that's a violation of my privacy. But I really wanted something to happen. So I wanted to see someone. This was like years ago. And I basically wrote in my diary that I was going to see this person at this time, this day, wearing this, and this would be the situation. I think it was actually about 3 years later. It happened. It happened 3 years later. But it did happen, and I was in the exact place I said I was going to be, and wearing the same clothes I said I was going to wear, and that person just happened to be there at the same time. And yeah, I mean, it does sometimes take time, but it happens. Anyway, so I've encountered this, and for me, that's why I believe in it. However, I think it depends on what you mean by godly encounter.
I mean, like, if you have, like, heard a voice, if you hear a voice, or you get this, like, deep sensation of feeling inside of you.
I just think it's me going crazy. I hear voices every day, but that's just like me, my alter ego, isn't it? I think so. Or sometimes I believe it's the universe. So for me, it'd be difficult to defer if it was God or the universe.
I think how it happened for me was because I was speaking to him, if you know what I mean?
Right.
Because although I'd had this law of attraction stuff, like, months later, I decided to just say a prayer. And so then, because I knew that I was speaking to that thing,
that you've asked,
to that God,
and
then got a reply from that question, I think that's what it was. So I guess, but then again in Christianity, you know, it says, like, if you don't ask, then you won't receive, and, like, if you don't seek, then it won't happen. So
I think the root to all, like we're saying, root to all religion and beliefs of just being a good person and praying or asking or whatever. I think if I really truly felt within myself that I've had an encounter with God, then 100%. But I am more of a, like, I've got to see things to believe them. Like, I've seen things happen to me and develop for me, and for me the answer is, because I have been asking the universe, you know? So for me, the universe is the only thing that can be replying to me, because that's who I'm asking. Right? So I think, I mean, of course, you know, if I honestly felt within my heart, then, you know, I want to go with that. I want to go with my heart feeling and my gut instinct, and, you know, well, why lie to yourself?
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
That's true.
I think just right now, I am completely and utterly content and happy, not only spiritually, just in I think every sense. And I don't know, I think I'm not even, I don't need to look for something further right now. If it comes to me, it comes to me, but
yeah.
I love I do. And I think everyone needs something to believe in, because it makes you happy. And
Yeah, it gives you purpose.
It gives you purpose, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us for brunch today, guys. Please leave any comments, anything down below, questions. What do you believe in?
Guys, just please, love for all, no matter what.
Yeah, love for all. I'll see you next week. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Not today, Satan, I'm immune to your temptation. Not today, Satan.